Folks, if there's one thing that truly stands out everywhere in Europe, it's the body odor. It's like they can't manage the hygiene of taking a shower and scrubbing the hell out of their armpits. You can smell their body odor even with a jacket on, so imagine it underneath. It's way worse, you know?
It is often said that French individuals do not bathe, that Parisians are impolite, and that they absolutely detest tourists. There are many cliches about France, especially about Paris, the capital. Tales about the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre Museum, and other famous landmarks are common. But are these stories true or merely fabrications? In this video, I'm going to debunk these myths based on my own experience, exploring less conventional places in the city, because not everything here is the Eiffel Tower, and not everything is armpit smell. Welcome to the Myths and Legends of Paris. Have you ever asked yourself why people often claim the French don't shower? It's time to uncover the truth behind this myth. In ancient times, bathing was less frequent throughout Europe, including France. In the Middle Ages, for example, access to clean water and personal hygiene practices were quite different from what we have today. But does that really hold true in the 21st century? The French people possess a rather unique approach when it comes to the act of bathing. While in countries like Brazil it's common to shower several times a day, in France many people prefer one daily shower, usually in the morning. They highly value the use of perfumes and colognes, which is an essential part of French culture. Did you know France is the cradle of the world's most famous perfumes? In Brazil, especially in the hotter regions, showering several times a day is a necessity, almost a ritual. This is simply because the tropical climate and the humidity demand more frequent baths. In France, however, the climate is milder and less humid, which might explain the differences in hygiene habits. Does the number of showers per day really define a person's hygiene? The truth is that the French are just as hygienic as people from any other nation. They simply have a distinct approach, which involves a greater reliance on personal care items such as perfumes and deodorants. A recent study found that approximately 57% of French people take a daily shower, a figure that is quite similar to the European average. And furthermore, the personal hygiene products market in France is truly enormous, generating billions of euros annually. Arriving here in Paris, I started to see if many of the things they say about the French are true or not. Let's go to the first stereotype, that the French are rude, hostile, and ill-mannered. Is it really true? In any big city, there are always people who can be more hostile, just like they say about Buenos Aires, in Argentina. Visit these places and you'll see that, in fact, it's the opposite. Whoever thinks Argentinians are hostile has probably never been to Argentina. The same goes for Paris. Those who believe Parisians are rude might simply have had an unfortunate experience. Living in a city that receives 44 million tourists a year, it's not easy. Dealing with this mass of tourists on a daily basis can be quite a challenge, and at times this leads to more abrupt interactions. But what did I discover? Quite the opposite. People here are very polite. They say, "Good morning," "Good afternoon," and "Excuse me." If they bump into you on the street, they apologize. In restaurants, the waiters and waitresses always treated me very well. Of course, in any major city, there will always be some impolite individuals, but that is certainly not the general rule. Being polite and simply saying good morning is one thing, but forming lasting friendships can often be more challenging in large cities. Not just in Paris, but anywhere in the world. Is it true that all food in Paris is delicious? Many visitors believe that when they go to a French restaurant, they absolutely have to sample French gastronomy. However, many restaurants in this city actually adhere to French standards in their techniques, no matter what kind of cuisine they offer. This means you're able to find fantastic cuisine from anywhere around the globe right here in Paris. Another stereotype is that Paris is the fashion capital, where everyone is always dressed elegantly. Yes, Paris is the fashion center, with major houses like Dior and Louis Vuitton. However, that does not mean that every single French person is always in fashion. Most people wear regular clothes just like they would anywhere else. If you go to places like Champs-Élysées, you'll see elegant people, but they're a minority. Now let's talk about something serious. Rats. Paris has a big problem with rats, especially at night, near tourist spots like the Eiffel Tower. The city has one of the highest rat populations in the world, due to its old sewage systems that are difficult to maintain. Although it's a problem, it doesn't take away from the city's beauty. Another myth is that all Parisians are artists and intellectuals. Paris does have many artists and is the capital of art and literature. Many people here read a lot, with an average of 16 books per year. This helps to perpetuate the common myth that every single person there is an intellectual. Yet you'll encounter all kinds of individuals, similar to any other major city. And what about the myth that the French don't shower and they smell bad? That's false. The French take care of their hygiene, and many use the best perfumes in the world. You might come across someone who doesn't use deodorant, but that's rare. Many Europeans bathe at night, unlike Latin Americans, who typically shower in the morning. Another common cliché is that the French can't live without a baguette or a croissant, and that's true. Here in Paris, the bakeries specialize in these products, and it's common to see them always full, especially in the morning. Beyond the clichés and myths, there is much more to explore in Paris besides the famous tourist spots. For instance, there's La Recyclerie, a cafe that was built on an old train line. It's a place where Parisians have transformed something old into something new and captivating, complete with green spaces and community events. But have you ever heard about the Paris pickpockets? Those clever young pickpockets who rob tourists in the city's busiest areas? Believe it or not, they're much quicker. But let's delve deeper into this whole situation. Paris is an incredible city, full of wonderful tourist spots, but like any metropolis, it has its problems. One of these issues is the operation of wallet snatchers, who are commonly referred to as pickpockets or voleurs à la tire here. These young individuals operate in major tourist destinations such as the Eiffel Tower, the Louvre Museum, and particularly within the metro system. Picture this. You're there, amazed by the Eiffel Tower, and suddenly, where's your wallet? Gone. Pickpockets are masters at taking advantage of distracted tourists. They operate in groups, creating small confusions to divert your attention while one of them does the dirty work. And don't think only rookies fall for that. Even the most experienced travelers have been victims. Their secret, agility, discretion, and a lot of practice. They are so good that sometimes you only realize you've been robbed hours later. But calm down, no need to panic. There are some tips to protect yourself from these clever little thieves. First, always keep your valuables well secured. Use bags and backpacks with zippers and always keep them in sight. Make sure to avoid carrying large sums of cash, and if it's feasible, consider using a money belt for added security. And of course, be aware of your surroundings, especially in very crowded places. For me, it would be embarrassing for a Brazilian to get robbed abroad. We Brazilians are born in very hard mode, so I won't allow you to get robbed over there. Understand? If you enjoyed this video, please comment Paris. Don't forget to leave your like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell so you don't miss anything new. Feel free to share this with friends who also want to experience the authentic Paris. Also, please leave a comment down below about which myth or cliché you'd like me to investigate further in the next video. Thanks everybody, and see you later.